What's going on? Thank you for tuning in to another episode. Happy New Year. We are up here at the 2020 Barrett Jackson Auto Auction. Right away, you know, we're getting ready to find parking. We see a Lamborghini all the way to the ground, of Aventador, all the way to the ground with purple wheels. And then we found our parking space. We see this beautiful SS and this custom Challenger. Man, it's going to be a great series of episodes. Barrett Jackson is one of the biggest events in Arizona, in the auto world personally. So stay tuned. It's going to be crazy, man.
Oh shit, I'm tripping. I only seen the front part.
So, right, look right here. That's my Alright, so Porsche 918, you want me to talk or you got it?
Let me get a little bit back so they can see the full action. 918 Spider. I already know how you feel.
So I love the 918. Unlike, you know, McLaren, this is actually naturally aspirated. It's the only one that's all-wheel drive. So it has four-wheel steering. It has the most electric range out of the big three, which is the McLaren P1, Porsche 918, and the LaFerrari. The downforce, the grip on this thing is incredible. I think it showed what a new supercar can be, or a hypercar can be. Eventually, it'll trickle down to the lower end stuff, and it kind of already has. You know, you
like
have
the Panamera E Hybrid or whatever.
Yeah, the Panamera E Sport Turismo or some crazy stuff. But I have not seen a McLaren P1 in the wild. I've seen a 918 in the wild, a yellow one. I was driving home from work one day. But of the three, which one do you like the most?
I like the McLaren.
Yeah.
I think because I watched a few things and people explain, you know, Porsche really was flexing like tech in the 918, and though the P1 is super tech too, they definitely just went a little bit more raw with it.
Yeah. And
then the LaFerrari just kind of like over the top, like, but up close and personal, this thing's gorgeous, man.
Yeah, I remember when it first came out, Chris Harris, I watched him drive a prototype. He asked the engineers, like, okay, the McLaren and the Ferrari both have more power, and all of a sudden this got into the 900s too. I think this had like 887, but I think at the time it had 100 less. Chris Harris really didn't like how the prototype drove when he drove the finished model. He was a big fan of it. And then of course, you know, I remember the concept had the side exhaust. They ended up switching to the top mount exhaust. So this is a car I would love to hear out loud. And then right next to it, you got, again, Celine. But, you know, this one, it doesn't look as much like the race car, but it's still in that 7-liter V8 to start out. Then,
of course, right next to the Celine S7, we have the McLaren Senna here. This joint just sold. I don't know which day this week it sold. It's black with the red
kind of see the
striping.
You can kind of see the flake in it too. But the McLaren Senna, named it after the Formula 1 driver who died. They wanted the maximum attack with this car. You can tell people don't necessarily think it's a beautiful car. I think it looks aggressive. It looks like a race car. But the wing, it has the active aero. It has the windows down here, so you can look at the car, so you can see the apexes. But I mean, it has the same 3.8 twin turbo, but it's just everything turned up to 11, and I think it looks great, man. I seen one last year at Barrett Jackson, so this isn't the first time I seen him. The first time I seen it, I was speechless, man. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. But again, you know how we're big McLaren fans here.
And here we have a 650S Le Mans edition. This also sold.
I honestly don't remember this car coming out. I remember the 650. At first I thought it was an LT, but I mean, it has the
roof scoop,
and then the wheels look straight off of a F1 GTR, which of course, you know, I'm a big fan of. We think that's the greatest car of all time. Yeah, see, marking the 20th anniversary of his 1995 win, so this came out in 2015. What do you think of the speed to the F1's true successor with the center seat?
Woo! I think Speedtail, ooh, I don't know, man. Speedtail might be my favorite car right now.
I think it's gonna be a while before we see one, unless we go to like Concours in LA or something like that. Something crazy where we'll expect to see that type of stuff. But it takes a while, unless you come to Barrett Jackson before you see that type of stuff.
I think they just said they were testing it at the what is it? The Space Shuttle launch pad area.
Oh, and they done 250 miles an hour like 30 times in a row.
Yeah, something crazy like that. Like,
and you know, speaking of that hypercar class, I keep bringing it up, but I watched the video. They had a 720S GT3 testing at Monza with no chicanes in it, but you could hear the hybrid system. So I honestly think McLaren is going to enter in that into that top prototype class that replaced LMP1. They replaced it. It's called Le Mans Hypercar now instead of Le Mans Prototype. Hypercar being where they have to sell a certain amount of them. So stay tuned on McLaren, man.
They've been shaking up the waters, man.
Don, what are you losing your mind over?
Lime green Porsche Speedster.
I see it. So what's special about this Speedster compared to others?
This is Dream Car revitalized for me right here. So this is the 991. You said it's the final edition.
Yeah, the final 911
Speedster. So I don't even think they had a Speedster for the longest time.
Basically, this is a GT3 motor with a manual roadster. It's a GT3 roadster, really. And of course, super rare. Off the top of my head, I don't know how many they made. Wasn't a lot. Obviously, you're looking at 500 horsepower, race bred V8, flat six.
I think one Porsche dealer out here in Scottsdale got a silver one.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and transition to this bad boy too.
488 Pista. 488 is actually about to get ready to be replaced, man. They got the Tributo F8 on the way. I don't think we looked at that stuff.
So like, I'm a little bit overwhelmed because there's just so much McLaren stuff in this booth right here. I'm not as techie as David on some of the newer cars because lately I've just been kind of slacking on my research. But the first time we seen this car was at the Cars and Coffee in Scottsdale. This is the McLaren GT, and this thing is gorgeous, man. The plum color interior is crazy. I think the McLaren rep was cool enough last time to show us the active exhaust.
Yeah, he showed us the active exhaust mode on it.
Let's go ahead and swing around this way a little bit. So you got the silver with the plum interior, classic McLaren wheels. Then you kind of come over here and just craziness on the red 720S. Pretty close to like me and David's. One of our favorite colors of cars. It's kind of like a really dark cherry. We get out these people way real quick.
And then what are we looking at right here, bro?
So correct me if I'm wrong, this is a P1 GTR.
Yeah. So
this thing is crazy.
So yeah, this is the P1 GTR, the ultimate version of what was the ultimate McLaren. The Senna GTR I've seen, it looks okay, but I think this is the better looking of the two.
Yeah, this looks better than the Senna.
Yeah,
the Senna is definitely more raw, a lot more aggressive, I would say.
More downforce.
But coming from where we kind of like grew into McLaren again with the P1, because obviously we've always been F1 fans. This is just radical, beastly. I didn't ever think I would even see one in person. The dual exhaust is just wild.
Yeah, they further separate the P1 from the GTR. The easiest way to tell, obviously, is the rear end. And what I love about it is the fact that it's made to be a race car. So it doesn't have that hydraulic wing with the arrow. It has a traditional double element rear wing.
The only one now we haven't seen is the P1 LM.
Yeah, the LM is the road legal version of this. Extremely limited number. Then right next to that you have and I lost my words just now, but we're gonna cycle.
Beautiful cars up
we're gonna cycle to me right now. So you come over here, brand new Bugatti Chiron. I was hoping to see it maybe last year or at one of these nice cars and coffee events. But the Chiron is just an evolution of the Veyron, and I am a big fan of the Bugatti. You know, at first I wasn't, because everybody talked about getting one. Everybody wanted to do it like wrapped in chrome and do like a chrome red or a chrome blue. I thought it was kind of corny, but now that everybody kind of died down and they realized like a car like this costs a lot to get, but it's the maintaining that's the problem. But what you're looking at here is a Grand Touring car in disguise as a missile top speed car. They recently made a Chiron Super Sport. It goes 304 miles an hour, so this is what kind of machine you're looking at, you know.
I don't know if that sounds official yet, but that's what they were claiming.
I think the single-seater broke 300, went 304, and then they made a two-seat version of it. But what you're looking, I mean, you're looking at 16 cylinders, 4 turbos. This is just unheard. 1,500 horsepower. That's just unheard of. And the thing, people say, oh, you could get that much power from another car tuned up, but it's not gonna be as smooth as this.
I mean, true competitors are really just Koenigsegg right now.
Yeah, Koenigsegg.
And then supposedly Hennessy's coming out with theirs, but we'll see when the F5 comes.
Yeah.
But this thing is gorgeous, man. Like, I think this is head and shoulders better looking than the Veyron.
Yeah. We'll probably see the Veyron outside, because the owner, I believe he has a chrome and red one, so that'll be a good direct comparison. But this car, I think I watched the Top Gear episode when he first drove it, and it just started growing on me. Now, like I said, everybody quit rapping about it, talking about it, and then selling it. Now, like, I feel like it's more of a true enthusiast car where you don't care that it costs $10,000 to change the oil. You know, crazy numbers, but I'm walking around here, man. Interior shot.
Crazy.
Okay, so we finally made our way back to the front. We looking at right here is we're at Apex Motorsport Club. You know, I was talking about how Lexus recently signed a deal with them. But they have 2 motion rigs, and it's Laguna Seca Raceway. So, you know, we're gonna hop in these and we're gonna see how fast we are. But man, great show, of course.
Yeah, it's been dope.
Great show. Come out here, must see TV. Thank you for supporting us the way you have, man, guys. We really appreciate it. I'm having more and more people comment saying, you know, they look forward to the build, what happened to the GS, you know, what's the next show. And we really just appreciate it, man. I've been feeling the love. Don't forget to check out all our social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course YouTube. Apex Vision out. Okay, so we about to hop in the motion sim with Dom and a new buddy over here. So see how this goes. Go get him, Dom. All right, so Dom in the lead now. See Dom holding it down. You got the racing. Hey, I see you, Dom. Oh no, keep it. Follow that racing line. Dom got a pretty big lead now. Keep it.
So damn, that was a good move. That was a good move. Come on, Dom. Ah, that was a good move. You got to give him credit for that. Shit, let him back by then. Let him by, bro. Ah. All right, so we back even now. Go get him, Dom. This game is crazy. Like, I'm going to be ignoring this racing line on this second lap. I can already tell. fast did I go? That's what I want to see. That shit is crazy. 149 and 153. So, man, thanks for filming, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, no problem, man.
Yeah.
It's making me better, like.
Yeah, that's the thing, like, and that's why I need to join the league.
Yeah.
Because racing with somebody that's in a level above you is gonna make you faster.
We was clearly like the best drivers we had seen over there. Like.
Yeah, easily, no doubt.
Yeah.
And shit, I was hyped as hell for Dom. He held it down on the he held it down and he won. Then he let Buddy back by and still beat him. You won, right?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of clipped him on the inside.
Yeah. But you let him back past you at the end of that first lap, though. But no, we definitely held them up down. So
I know.
fun as hell, and like the motion rig, and like I felt the difference with the pedals versus the stuff I have at the house, which isn't really a true load cell. Big thanks to Todd, man. You know, we were kind of in line with him, and then the girl like let us race.
Yeah, that was fun.
I thought you were like, okay, you two go, somebody else go. She was like, oh, you want to race him? Go ahead. So we ran with him, and that shit was fun, man.
Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah. So we walking back, leaving the show finally. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out our channel. Check out all our social media platforms. Big things planned for 2020. Going to the Daytona 24-hour race Wednesday. So stay tuned for that. Anything else you want to add before we close out?
Nah, man, just appreciate the support. You know what I'm saying? We want to keep growing. Let us know if you got something for us to review. And it's been a great day. We out.